Welcome to Beyond Vision Mindset. If you're someone who has ever felt that your kindness was taken for granted, or if you found yourself in situations where your good nature seemed to attract disrespect, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving deep into a subject that many people misunderstand: the relationship between kindness and respect. Most of us have been told that kindness is a virtue, something that will always earn us the admiration and respect of others. But what if I told you that kindness, when not balanced with strength, can actually have the opposite effect? What if I told you that being too kind can, in fact, make people lose respect for you? This is not an attack on kindness itself. Kindness is a beautiful trait when practiced with wisdom. However, when kindness is given without boundaries or a sense of self-respect, it can turn into weakness, and that's when people may begin to take advantage of you. In this video, we'll explore this concept using the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from within, and that to be truly kind, we must first be strong in our own convictions, our own values, and our own boundaries. You see, kindness, when done without clarity and strength, can easily become a door for others to walk through, taking advantage of your good nature without giving you the respect you deserve in return. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that being self-sacrificial and constantly saying yes will endear us to others. But in reality, it often leads to us being perceived as people without boundaries, and ultimately, without power. This is why understanding the proper balance between kindness and strength is essential, not only for maintaining your own peace of mind but also for gaining the respect and admiration of those around you. By examining the Stoic approach to kindness, we'll uncover how you can stand firm in your principles without resorting to cruelty or harshness. It's all about striking the right balance, being compassionate and empathetic, but not at the cost of your own dignity or self-respect. Throughout this video, we'll break down the core teachings of Stoicism that help you cultivate both kindness and strength. We'll discuss how to set boundaries without guilt, how to maintain your integrity even when others try to push you, and how you can be both kind and powerful at the same time. So if you've ever felt that being too kind has left you feeling disrespected or taken advantage of, stick with me. This video will give you the tools to not only understand why that happens, but also how to navigate these situations with the wisdom and grace that Stoic philosophy provides. And if you're looking for ways to regain your power, find respect in your relationships, and live a life of integrity, then this is exactly where you need to be. Let's explore how to stand firm, set healthy boundaries, and command the respect you truly deserve, all while maintaining your kindness. 1. Kindness without boundaries. The hidden trap. We've all heard it before. Kindness is a virtue. Society teaches us that to be good people, we should always put others first, be understanding, and act in ways that benefit those around us. It sounds like solid advice. Being kind creates positive connections and leads to stronger relationships. But here's the thing. Kindness, when not practiced with boundaries, can easily become a trap. It can transform from a virtue into something that leaves you vulnerable and taken advantage of. This is something that the Stoics understood well. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while it's essential to be compassionate and empathetic, it's equally important to know when to protect your energy and stand firm. Without this balance, kindness can be mistaken for weakness. Think about it. If you're always the person saying yes to everyone, never expressing your own needs, and constantly putting others before yourself, eventually people may start to see you as someone who has no limits. They might think that you can be pushed around, that you won't stand up for yourself, and that they can get away with disrespecting you because you're always giving. Excessive kindness without boundaries sends the message that you don't value your own time, energy, or well-being. This isn't just about being nice or doing favors for others, it's about ensuring that kindness doesn't come at the cost of your self-respect. In the Stoic worldview, your actions should align with your values. You shouldn't be kind because you're afraid to say no, nor should you be kind out of a desire to please others. True kindness comes from a place of inner strength and clarity. It means knowing when to help and when to protect yourself. Without boundaries, kindness loses its power and turns into something that can be exploited. This is when it begins to lose its value in the eyes of others. People may take advantage of your good nature, not because they're inherently malicious, but because they begin to see you as someone who lacks the ability to assert themselves. And while this may be uncomfortable to hear, the truth is, when you allow others to walk all over you in the name of kindness, you're teaching them that your respect and boundaries are negotiable. This is where the danger lies. You start to become the person that everyone goes to when they need something, but no one sees you as a strong, capable individual who deserves their respect. In the Stoic sense, this is a failure to uphold your own dignity. You're sacrificing your integrity for the sake of maintaining harmony, but what you don't realize is that this harmony is built on an imbalance. True kindness isn't about giving endlessly without consideration of your own needs. It's about showing compassion while also knowing your worth, asserting your boundaries, and ensuring that you're not left feeling drained, exploited, or disrespected. The Stoics teach us that we should aim for equanimity, staying calm, balanced, and centered regardless of external circumstances. When you practice kindness without this internal balance, it becomes easy for others to take advantage of you, and this is when your kindness loses its impact. In essence, if you don't set boundaries, kindness becomes a tool for others to manipulate and exploit. The next time you feel the urge to say yes or offer your help, ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I feel like I have to? If it's the latter, you're setting yourself up for being disrespected and misunderstood. So, the first step in cultivating true kindness is to recognize the importance of boundaries. Without them, kindness is a hollow gesture. 2. The Stoic approach to kindness and respect. Now that we've explored why kindness without boundaries can lead to disrespect, let's turn to how we can approach kindness in a way that doesn't compromise our integrity or invite mistreatment. The Stoics offer us powerful insights into this dynamic, emphasizing that kindness is not about being passive or self-sacrificial. Rather, it's about showing empathy and compassion while maintaining strength and self-respect. The Stoics understood that respect is not something that can be demanded or coerced. It must be earned, and it is earned through the way we conduct ourselves and by how we maintain our inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and emperors, demonstrated this perfectly. He was a man of deep compassion and kindness, but he was also a man of great inner strength, conviction, and respect for his own values. He didn't need to be cruel to assert his power, he simply held firm to his principles, never compromising his integrity, no matter the situation. In the Stoic worldview, respect doesn't come from being overly accommodating or constantly pleasing others. In fact, the opposite is true. When you constantly prioritize others' desires over your own, when you always put their needs first without considering your own, you send the message that you're not a person worth respecting. On the other hand, when you stand firm in your own beliefs, When you respect yourself enough to draw clear lines, others will naturally begin to respect you as well. This respect is not born from fear or manipulation, it's earned through consistency, strength, and wisdom. The Stoic approach to kindness is rooted in what they called virtue, a commitment to doing what is right, regardless of how it may be perceived by others. True virtue requires not only kindness but also fortitude, the strength to act in alignment with your values, even when it's difficult. The Stoics teach that you must balance your desire to do good with the recognition that you are also entitled to your own space, needs, and boundaries. In other words, you don't have to sacrifice yourself to be kind. You can still show empathy and support for others while maintaining your personal integrity. When we look at figures like Epictetus, who was born into slavery but became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, we see a man who exemplified this balance. Epictetus was known for his wisdom and kindness, but he also recognized that respect comes from self-control and the ability to maintain your dignity, even in difficult circumstances. He taught that we must focus on what is within our control, our actions, our decisions, and our boundaries, while accepting that we cannot control how others may respond. By applying these Stoic principles, we learn that true kindness is not about being a passive recipient of others' demands or expectations. It is about actively choosing when to give and when to protect your own well-being. When you make decisions based on your own values and principles, rather than trying to please others, you begin to command respect. People will see that you are a person who knows their worth, and that is far more admirable than simply being kind for the sake of pleasing others. Respect doesn't come from being compliant or self-sacrificial. It comes from maintaining your integrity, standing firm in your beliefs, and showing others that you value yourself. This is the Stoic approach, being kind, but never at the expense of your own self-respect. 3. Setting boundaries without guilt. One of the most essential skills when it comes to maintaining kindness while ensuring respect is the ability to set boundaries. This is where many people struggle. They feel guilty for saying no, they worry about disappointing others, or they fear that asserting their limits will lead to rejection or conflict. But as the Stoics would argue, the fear of rejection or conflict is nothing more than an attachment to external outcomes, something we have no control over. Instead, they teach us to focus on what we can control, our own actions, thoughts, and decisions. Setting boundaries is a necessary act of self-respect. It's not selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. When you fail to set boundaries, you open the door to manipulation, resentment, and even burnout. But when you set firm boundaries, you create a space where your kindness can thrive in a healthy, balanced way. Boundaries allow you to say yes when you truly want to and no without guilt when you need to protect your time, energy, or emotional well-being. The Stoics believed that we must take responsibility for our own well-being, and part of that responsibility is understanding that our time and energy are finite. If we constantly give without considering our own needs, we risk becoming depleted. This isn't just about protecting yourself physically, but also mentally and emotionally. When you allow others to overstep your boundaries, you begin to erode your own sense of self-worth. But when you establish clear, healthy boundaries, you communicate to others, and most importantly, to yourself, that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. The concept of boundaries in Stoic philosophy goes beyond simply saying no to others. It's about cultivating the inner strength to uphold your values, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's about being at peace with your decisions, knowing that by protecting your boundaries, you're actually giving others a chance to respect you more. When you say no with confidence, you show that you are a person who knows what they stand for and is not easily swayed by external pressures. One of the key aspects of setting boundaries is learning to detach from the outcomes of your decisions. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control how others will react to our boundaries. Some people may not understand, some may even be offended. But the important lesson is that we are not responsible for how others feel about our choices. What matters is how we feel about them. Setting boundaries is a way to protect your inner peace and maintain a sense of control over your life. When you do this, you show that you value your time and energy, and others will start to respect you for it. The fear of conflict or rejection often stems from a lack of confidence in our own decisions. But when we align our actions with our values and embrace the Stoic principle of focusing only on what we can control, we can let go of that fear. We can set boundaries without guilt, knowing that we're taking care of ourselves and doing what's right for us. And when we do that, we also empower others to make their own decisions without depending on our constant approval or validation. Remember that boundaries are not about being rigid or inflexible. They are about protecting your energy and ensuring that your kindness doesn't come at the expense of your own well-being. Setting boundaries allows you to be a kind person, but one who values and respects themselves enough to avoid being taken advantage of. In this way, you not only preserve your own dignity, but you also maintain the integrity of your kindness. You show others that kindness comes from a place of inner strength, not weakness. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. The Stoic approach teaches us to detach from the fear of others' reactions and focus on what we can control, our decisions and our self-worth. By setting boundaries, we protect our inner peace and create space for our kindness to flourish in a healthy, empowered way. 4. Practical example. Boundaries in action. Now that we've discussed why kindness without boundaries can lead to disrespect and how the Stoic philosophy encourages us to set clear limits, let's dive into a practical example of what boundaries in action can look like. It's one thing to understand the concept of boundaries, but it's another to put them into practice. This is where many people face challenges, because it requires both confidence and consistency. Imagine you have a friend or coworker who constantly asks you for favors, whether it's picking up their slack at work, helping them with their personal problems, or being available at all hours to lend a hand. Over time, this starts to feel exhausting. You might feel obligated to help because you care about them, but your time and energy are being drained. You find yourself saying yes, even when it's inconvenient or when you're feeling overwhelmed. You're being kind, but at the cost of your own well-being. Now, let's apply the Stoic approach to this scenario. Setting a boundary in this situation doesn't mean you have to be rude or cruel. It means you've recognized your limits and are communicating them in a firm yet respectful way. A Stoic response might look like this. I understand that you need help, and I truly want to be there for you. However, I'm unable to help with this right now due to other commitments I've made. I hope you understand that I have to take care of my own responsibilities as well. By responding in this way, you are not only maintaining your kindness, but you are also upholding your own boundaries. You've communicated your needs clearly and respectfully, without guilt or apology. You've also sent a message that your time and energy are valuable, and that while you care for the person, you cannot allow their requests to take precedence over your own well-being. This is where the Stoic principle of focusing on what's within your control comes into play. You are not responsible for how they react, only for how you choose to act. Over time, when you consistently set boundaries like this, you'll start to see a shift in how others treat you. They will begin to recognize your strength and respect for yourself, and they will start to value your kindness in a way that doesn't take advantage of you. This doesn't mean that everyone will understand or respect your boundaries immediately. Some may even resist or try to push you. But the key is that you are consistent, and you remain true to your values. Another example might involve a situation at work. Let's say you're often asked to take on extra tasks that are outside of your role, but you're already juggling a full workload. Rather than taking on more than you can handle, a Stoic approach would involve communicating your limits directly with your manager or coworkers. A response like, "I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm currently focused on my existing responsibilities. I want to ensure that the quality of my work remains high, and I need to respect my current workload to do that." This establishes a boundary that not only protects your well-being but also allows you to maintain a high standard of work. By setting boundaries in both personal and professional settings, you're ensuring that your kindness doesn't come at the cost of your own peace and integrity. You're showing that you care for others, but you also care for yourself, and that's a balance that everyone, whether friends, family, or colleagues, can respect. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful and insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and personal development tips. By understanding the importance of boundaries and applying the Stoic principles we've discussed today, you'll begin to cultivate a life where kindness and respect go hand in hand. Remember, true strength isn't about being harsh or unkind. It's about knowing your worth, standing firm in your values, and treating both yourself and others with the respect you deserve. Stay strong, stay kind, and stay true to yourself. If you want to dive deeper into Stoic philosophy and learn how to apply these principles to transform your life, make sure to subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.